But joining us right now on the line, Canada's national team captain, Julian de Guzman. Julian, welcome, my friend.
Thanks for having me, Anthony. It's always been a pleasure.
Pleasure's all mine. Julian, let's dissect these first two games. Let's go back to Vancouver and Honduras. A very important win, a very important atmosphere that was taking place there that night in Vancouver. And a team, to me, that looked like it has finally arrived in CONCACAF, where it showed no fear. It showed that they were here as a group. And it really showed me a lot of different components to this squad that I've never seen before. Talk about that Honduras game.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those games where, it's worth more than 3 points. And we knew what was at stake. You know, playing at home in these qualifiers, it's crucial to get those wins. And we finally had that right energy and positive feeling before the game, knowing that, you know, we're much stronger. We got the right guys in place. And we just knew how important it was for us to get that win. So everybody was on the right page. It was a great feeling, on the pitch, after the pitch as well, just to see the reception we got, record attendance. And I think this is something that needs to continue to carry on in the future. So building that home advantage and that home feel for us has been working out for the national team for quite some time.
So let's talk about it, Julian. A lot of people have been talking about it the last couple days. Last night on my show, we've had a lot of guys all over Canada that cover this team, and we talked about that Mexico game coming up in 2016 and how vital and important the home crowd has to be for Canada. I believe, I'm almost 100% sure of it, that the game will be played in Vancouver. Some believe that it should be played in the other city that you have a special place for, Ottawa, because of the temperature, the time of year that would really affect the Mexicans. Where do you stand?
Yeah, I think, it was a success, the game against Honduras with the fans and the atmosphere. And it's been a long time since we've had a game in Vancouver. So I have a feeling they're leaning towards Vancouver for the game against Mexico. I mean, at the end of the day, we had the roof open. It was still chilly, and it was on turf. And I think the Hondurans, they managed pretty well. But again, for us, we were a lot better in that sense, and we got the result. But playing a game in Ottawa, it's definitely something to consider in the long run, and I don't see why it shouldn't be a problem.
Julian, let's fast forward. You just came back from El Salvador, an important result for your squad. A squad that I saw sitting down at home with my youngest son watching it. I said, there's something different about this squad than in years past with the Canadian national team. There's a swagger, there's a cockiness, there's a confidence, and there's leadership. You provide leadership, so does Atiba. I see Will Johnson as another leader. And there's a key component that many people aren't talking about. I believe that Milan Borjan is going to be an explosive and an important piece for you guys to go forward as well as the new addition in Junior Hoyland. Talk about that game and what you said as a captain before you guys made your way out there.
Yeah, it was important. That game is what defines CONCACAF, and you go into these hostile environments. You go into teams where they die for this game, and that's something almost half the guys haven't experienced, and they experienced for the first time in that game. It was a learning experience, and then you have the guys who've been, who've got this in and out, and they were able to help lead the newcomers into that. So it's important that we were able to, switch on immediately. We don't want to use referees, the field, or the fans as an excuse. It pretty much just came down to us, and I think the quality that we have, it's definitely good enough, and we consider ourselves one of the contenders for CONCACAF now, and that's the only thing that I had to make clear to the boys is because that's the feeling that we've been able to generate, before the Honduras game and as well as a Salvador game, that we have the quality to make the difference and to compete and do well in CONCACAF.
Not only the quality, but you've got the right mix, I believe, Julian, for the first time in a very long time. You've got the MLS Rookie of the Year, Kyle Larin, up top. You got Atiba there, right there where you need him in an important position. You've got guys in the back end that right now are starting to understand each other. Marcel De Jong, David Edgar, on and on. There's a special player of Junior Hoyland who has joined and wants to be part of this. And that's why I believe this is the right mix. It's a team mix. You talked about not having to worry about the referees, but I noticed something in that game and I couldn't believe my eyes, and it's long overdue. You guys obviously took advantage of some of the fouls that were taken against you, taking your time the way many other CONCACAF nations did. I think this is vital.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is vital. I mean, that's just the brilliance of what Benito brings to this squad. He's very aware of what exists in CONCACAF and how most of the Latin American teams carry on and go about their business. That's something that we're beginning to learn. I think it's important, not just for ourselves, but the culture for Canadian football. We have to pick up on how other teams, I mean, I don't want to use the word cheat, but that's what in most cases people see it from on the outside. And we have to take advantage of that. We're good players, player for player. On paper, it's probably one of the best teams I've been a part of in a long time. But that's not the only thing that will get us through to the next stage or to Russia. We have to understand that there are a lot of fine details that makes a big difference, and one of those things is being able to use time to your advantage. And we know that that's something we're going to have to battle with in the next couple of games.
Julian, what would you say to some of the people that threw out some negativity out there? I'm not one of them. A lot of people aren't some of them, because I'll tell you, before these two games, I was happy with 4 points, and a lot of people were complaining after the El Salvador game that you guys left points on the table. You weren't putting the ball in the back of the net with a so-called B team. I disagree. Anytime you're playing in Latin America in a CONCACAF host team, you're going to expect anything and everything coming at you, no matter what the circumstances are. Talk to those naysayers out there, Julian.
Yeah, you know what, everyone, a lot of people, that's one thing. People, they would say, oh, it's only the B team, this, and you guys should be able to walk through the game, no problem. No chance. It has never been like that. From my experience in the last 15 years of playing in CONCACAF, there's no such thing as a walk in the park. There's no such thing. And leading up towards the game, you got. It's more of a psychological thing. Understanding the atmosphere, and again, like the officiating, all these things you have to kind of respect. And if you don't respect it, you'll get burnt. And they could put their B team, C team, doesn't matter which team they put out there. It's always going to be a battle. These guys play for their lives. Those people who are busy criticizing or saying that we should beat them or whatever, those people are the ones that have 9 to 5s. These guys don't. This is their 9 to 5, and this is what they die for. So that's the big difference in terms of playing on CONCACAF and playing against whoever presents himself on the pitch.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree with you more. Julian, a couple more minutes and we'll let you go. Really appreciate your time. Let's fast forward and look to 2016, that big Mexico game coming up. That is massive for your squad. And a lot of people are also writing off that game. You're going to play in Mexico, which I'm pretty sure will be played at Azteca Stadium. I don't agree. If you recall, a few years ago, the Reggae Boys, Jamaica went in there and they shocked the Mexicans. Now, granted, the Mexicans are the favorites, but anything can happen. And when you're playing your best against their best, the wrong bounce, the wrong, situation, who knows if you guys come away with a result. Talk about that.
Yeah, these are the games where I think a lot of us, we have to experience, we have to go through it. This is the only way you'll get to Russia or make a World Cup. And you have to come across these types of games and know that it will never be easy, but it doesn't mean it's impossible. And again, I think the feeling that we have now going into this cycle right now, it's important to understand that the players we have finally coming together. We got Hoyland on our side now. We got Laren coming off of a strong season. We got Atiba, still bringing magic into the midfield. Will Johnson is getting his fitness again. Like Milan holding our back four. We're a difficult team to play against. A very difficult team. We make our opponents frustrated, and that opens up opportunities for us to score. So I mean, I think it's there for the taking, and I think this is what we want. We want to live for this. We have no fear. We're expecting a hard game, but we're definitely ready for it.
Last point is this, Julian. I know you were broken to pieces not playing in the Soccer Bowl with the Ottawa Fury. It's a special city, a special organization in your heart, but obviously you are the captain of the national team. These two games were massively important for you and the country, and you played your heart out. What do you want to say to the city of Ottawa, Ottawa Fury, and the people that missed you in that Soccer Bowl?
Yeah, I mean, I was devastated, just to understand or finally learn that I wasn't gonna be able to play that final. And I mean, I think it's heartbreaking to know that you're missing a final, whether you're suspended, if you're injured, or you have to attend a national team a game. And then for me, I don't think anyone imagined it happening. I don't think anyone even imagined Ottawa making the finals. And we were able to pull off the unexpected. We made the finals, and for me to miss that, it really saddens me. And I mean, I feel for the fans and the players who worked their hearts out, and we couldn't get the result that I guess we wanted, obviously. But I know for us, it's a new page that's been turned, and soccer has finally arrived in the capital city. And I think it's still a great day to celebrate for Canadian soccer. You have a successful team, a winning team, not just in the bigger markets, but also there's other places where it exists, and Ottawa's one of them.
Absolutely. Julian de Guzman, captain of Canada, God bless you for taking time to join us. You are a leader on and off the pitch. A lot of young Canadian boys look up to you, and when they watched you play these last two games, they saw, many of them talking to me at my son's training, saw something different, and we really appreciate the difference that is in you and in this squad in giving all you got moving forward in 2016. So good luck and enjoy the holiday season with your family, Julian, and we thank you so much again for joining us.
Thank you so much, and it's always been a pleasure being on the show, Tony.
You're a class act. Julian de Guzman, captain of Team Canada, joining us.